Let it never be said that I don't listen to feedback. I've been reading comments, some marginally more aggressive than others, on how to improve my dwarf dictator skills. The big one was that I hadn't read the tutorial, and as a result had majorly handicapped myself. But let me ask you this, did Aristotle have a tutorial when he built the pyramids? No, he didn't. He just had the sweat on his brow and 30,000 slaves. I don't have either of those things, so it'll just have to be a long, slow grind with no tutorials. A number of comments here about my object pile. Firstly, why is it outside? Well, if you look at this scientific diagram, you'll notice that outside is where the space is. Inside is needed for dwarf playpens and strawberries. There were a couple more vague complaints about it, but they didn't specifically say what their issue is. But I can guess, it's obvious. It's the size. By increasing the overall area of the stockpile, I can reduce the need for pesky organisation and planning. Where will I put my logs, says Dwarf A. Wherever the fuck you want. That's the beauty of the system. It's not a system. Another thing is that allegedly drawbridges are powerful, so the only logical option is a bigger drawbridge followed by smaller sub-drawbridges. I'd happily go into detail on the architectural and defensive significance of a design like this, only there isn't any architectural or defensive significance. By doing something that I extrapolated from someone else's suggestion, I can no longer be held accountable for my actions, which feels good. While disassembling the smaller, pathetic drawbridge though, a massive boulder dropped out of it onto the chief medical dwarf standing below, pulverising him. He can treat himself though, that's the point of him being a doctor. So I'm not really worried, and besides, he must have had some sort of fucking predisposition to be stupid enough to stand in the punji pit below a massive stone drawbridge. Unfortunately, I've inherited another problem. A nobleman. An election, decided by nobody, has crowned this lazy fuck who pretended to be my broker for about 3 years as mayor of nothing. Now he wants a golden bathtub, 13 virgins, and his own dinner room. I will place his quarters far away, in a separate little enclosure, so that if I decide to seal him in, there'll be enough buffer that busybody dwarves won't hear his cries from more camphor wood butt plugs. He makes the occasional demand, though there is a consistent theme to them. First was banning the export of low boots, whatever the fuck a low boot is. Next was forcing dwarves to make him low boots, and then he banned the export of them again. I don't want to dwell on what this means, but I'll submit to Quentin Tarantini's demands, because I don't have much armour in my little squad anyway, and I need to focus on the 1,000-year drawbridge construction, which has finally been completed. Now, I just have to test it. See, the most valuable thing by far that I've learned is the objective of the game is not looking after the dwarves within your big stone cube, it is looking after the big stone cube itself. Dwarves in that regard are simply an expendable resource. So even though I'm 99% sure this drawbridge will work, I'm still going to raise and lower it. The joy it'll bring me outweighs any dwarven suffering. I'm not really satisfied with the damage. 3 injured. I expected them to go higher, and then, be turned into jam when they hit the ground. Even the one who clumsily fell into the bridge only got impaled, and they're fine. I think the problem is I've got too many dwarves, so I need to kind of trim the fat a bit and get rid of some of the useless ones. Like the ones who have jobs like cheese maker. I don't have milk, how am I going to make cheese? I don't even want cheese. They don't need cheese, they've got loads of food. What do they need cheese for? I'm not happy with an endless stream of strawberries. No, I want some fucking dairy lead. My military is unchallengeable though. They drive off some Wolverine men without any effort. There's a human who's obsessed with killing Santa or something, they slaughter him. So I send them off on a little incursion. They go to a goblin hovel to fight goblins. They get there, there's one goblin, and they proceed to just brutally murder this singular goblin and take all his things. Which is fine, I mean it's a goblin. I got some stuff out of it. Why are you building the walls out of gold? Do I need to individually select every fucking wall material so you won't go raiding the precious metals? That's a 5 foot thick gold wall. At no point did the dwarf go, maybe this is a waste of this very, very valuable material to be used on a fucking external wall. Solid gold. I don't have time to think about this. A vile force has arrived, like 6 goblins. So they obviously didn't like the fact that I went to one of their camps and, ate their small little goblin friend. But this means I get to test my military. Snatcher, protect the children. mostly children. Children are useless, by the way. They can't do anything productive. They just do chores and play games. Why can't I have them? Nah, you're okay, mate. Our time in the past universes is so brief. Begone, fear. Fuck off. I don't want melancholy goblins. Goblins are meant to go, I'm a goblin. They aren't meant to quote Hamlet. I've taken some injuries with my run at them screaming tactic, but all the goblins are dead. My hunter got shot in the neck in a freak accident, and my trader, that I didn't know I had, ran away from a crossbowman until they vomited from having to do some actual work, punched said goblin in the teeth, and then lay in a pile of said vomit, while the goblin bonked them on the head with a crossbow over and over. Same thing happens to a farmer. Why do they all vomit when they're dying? Is this normal? Is this biology? Will I vomit when I die? Or is blunt force trauma a requirement? For the most part, thankfully, the dwarves just get hit in the leg and then go... Ah! I have to buy the lion, right? I can't just not buy the lion. If a man comes to you and he's selling a lion, you can't just go no. If a man came to your door right now, if he knocked on your door, if he went and he asked you if you wanted a lion, he had a domesticated lion in a cage, you wouldn't say no. Don't lie, you wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. Nobody would say no. It's a fucking lion. You want a lion. I want a lion. Every dwarf that I put in one of these traction benches dies. It says they die of dehydration. I don't know what that means. But what I do know is I put them on the doom bench and they die. So obviously the doom bench is the problem. There's plenty safe drinking water. In the caves, I mean, look at all this water. Someone also fell on their head in the pit too and they can't get out. I guess I can dig a well to go down to this water in the caves. I don't really know how that works, but you know, I'm good at engineering. I'll figure it out. All these deaths are prompting a re-evaluation of my defense situation. That's a lie. It's not the deaths, actually. A fucking kangaroo bastard thing has stolen an artifact, and that sort of upset me. I think a big problem is that a large portion of the population is outside collecting stuff at any given time. But after giving it a lot of thought, I don't see any way of solving that issue at all. It's too complex, too multifaceted. There's no other possible solution to, what am I going to do? Just keep my dwarves inside? They need to get things. The things are outside. Dehydration number 5, followed by another stolen artifact, prompts a new artifact storage system. Put them in your fucking pocket. I thought they had to carry icons around with them, but apparently not. My expedition leader's icon, gone. I don't know where he left it. Outside? I need some sort of kangaroo killing machine. Maybe one of these things that keeps killing my dwarves. That's another 2 to dehydration, allegedly. Dig faster, I need the water pit. Or I could just use the water outside. But I'm pretty sure it's frozen 12 months of the year, so I'll build a well there, but good fucking luck. Why does it have to specify dwarf pus? Pus would be fine. I know what pus is. I don't need it to specifically be dwarf pus. I'm not going to mistake it for any other pus. I'm not going to think it's like womble pus. Why is there a Goomba on the staircase? I need to seal up that stupid cave, but I have about 10 people wandering around there at any given moment, which makes it difficult. If I seal it up, I seal them in there. So immediately after I sent my military on a mission to attack more goblins, a siege of them has arrived. So I now need to fight off a goblin siege with my entire military elsewhere. And I've also found that my goblins can climb past my drawbridge with ease. One Batman, one Batman, one Batman, one Batman, one Batman, one Batman. It's time for Operation Carve a Deep Pit around my entire fortress. I could make a little bridge for when traders and migrants come and go, and otherwise completely seal it off. They keep having accidents though, as I dig this pit. So I'll just make more picks and assign more miners to replace the miners that get crushed by boulders. You know, a bit of sand then falls, a couple more pretend to be dead, but it's fine, there's no time to waste. This project will save countless lives. Dangerous terrain. It's all dangerous terrain, you prick. That's your job. Ah, shit. I didn't have massive chameleon on my bingo card for things that can go wrong. Well, it at least presents itself modestly. I wouldn't want a 3-foot-long Titan chameleon penis swinging around, would I? First opponent, small child. Instantly turned into tomato sauce. New recruit has his head taken off before he can even react. Planter's head is discombobulated. Mace Lord and Axe Lord have their heads smashed into paste. I think it's time to raise the bridge and maybe just cut our losses here. Oh, it's dead. I've looked through the log and at no point does it say it's died. It just decided to fall over and die. Maybe it died of old age. At least it's dead, and it's good to see that you were doing something important. You were making a mug, you thick